1978 was a year caught between disco's peak and rock's rebellion. Radio stations couldn't play songs fast enough to keep up with demand. But somewhere along the way, certain hits slipped through the cracks of memory. Here are 10 hit songs from 1978 you forgot you loved. Number 10, Baby Come Back by Player.
Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see.
3 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in January 1978. That's how Player introduced themselves to America. The song topped the chart during its 32-week run.
Well, I know I made many mistakes before, and I'm so...
Peter Beckett and J.C. Crowley wrote the song together after both had recently broken up with their girlfriends. They turned Heartbreak into gold before they'd ever played a live show together. Bass player Ron Moss turned to acting after the band faded. In 1987, he started playing Ridge Forrester on The Bold and the Beautiful, and he kept playing that role for 25 years.
This time I'm in it for love. This time I'm in it to win.
Beckett later joined Australia's Little River Band and continued performing Baby Come Back at their shows. The song returned to public consciousness decades later when it soundtracked a Swiffer commercial. But in January 1978, it was simply inescapable.
Like as gold, sister through the night. Stroke my body, touch my soul.
Number 9, Boogie, Oogie, Oogie by A Taste of Honey.
Cause we're gonna boogie, oogie, oogie till you just can't boogie no more.
It topped the American pop, soul, and disco charts in September 1978 and became the first certified platinum single in the history of Capitol Records for selling over 2 million copies. A Taste of Honey was an all-female fronted band from Los Angeles who had been grinding for 6 years before their breakthrough. The band got the idea for this song when they played a show at a military base. It was a tough crowd, and the audience was not responding to their songs. Bass player Janice Marie Johnson admonished them from the stage. If you're thinking that you're too cool to boogie, we've got news for you. Everyone here tonight must boogie, and you are no exception to the rule. Afterwards, in her hotel room, Johnson wrote down the line, "They won the Grammy Award for Best New Artist at the 21st Annual Grammy Award in February 1979, beating out Elvis Costello and the Cars." Let that sink in. A Taste of Honey had one other hit. Their cover of Q Sakamoto's Sukiyaki went to number 3, but Boogie Oogie Oogie remains the disco anthem that defined their legacy. Even if today, most people have forgotten the name behind the groove. Number 8, Magnet and Steel by Walter Egan.
For you are a magnet, and I am steel.
On the night when Stevie did the background vocals for my song Tunnel O' Love, my nascent amorous feelings toward her came into a sharper focus. That's Walter Egan describing his crush on Stevie Nicks.
There was a time not too far gone when I was changed by...
He wrote the 1978 hit Magnet and Steel about his attraction to her. Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, members of Fleetwood Mac, sang background vocal. Buckingham was also one of the song's producers. Imagine writing a love song about someone, then having her actually sing on it.
My friend, you know, it's so hard to say.
The song reached number 8 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and number 9 in Canada. It spent 22 weeks on the American charts. Yes, I am a one-hit wonder, Egan later admitted. I, of course, feel it's a wonder that I only had one hit. Egan would later briefly date Stevie following her breakup with Lindsey Buckingham, but the relationship quickly fizzled. The song, however, remains timeless. Number 7, Love is in the Air by John Paul Young.
Love is in the air, in the thunder of the sea.
In 1978, Australian pop was still fighting for respect on American radio. John Paul Young changed that with a song so uplifting, it practically demanded attention. Love is in the Air climbed to number 7 in America and number 5 in the UK.
Take a look at me, I'm yesterday's hero.
The production sparkled with that late 70s sheen, strings swelling beneath Young's earnest vocals. Young had been recording since 1972, but never found international traction. This single changed everything. becoming the biggest hit of his career.
Now I don't make sophistication, if that's the thing that turns you on.
The song found new life in 1992 when Baz Luhrmann featured it in Strictly Ballroom, introducing it to a generation too young to remember its original run. Today, everyone knows the melody. Few remember who sang it. That's the definition of a song you forgot you loved.
I saw you looking toward me, and right away I could tell.
Number 6, Get Off by Foxy.
Girls with our imagination, so we can get off.
2 weeks at number 1 on the Soul Chart. Number 9 on the Hot 100. Foxy brought Latin disco heat from Miami that radio programmers didn't quite know how to handle. The Cuban-influenced rhythms were unlike anything else on American pop radio in 1978. Band leader Ish Ledesma crafted something genuinely different, a fusion of cultures that felt fresh and undeniable. The song's suggestive lyrics kept some stations nervous, but clubs couldn't get enough. Foxy would follow up with Hot Number, but never quite recaptured this lightning. Their sound helped pave the way for the Latin freestyle movement that would dominate dance floors in the 1980s. Ledesma himself later formed Company B, a major freestyle act, and worked as a session musician on Miami Sound Machine's early recordings. But ask most people about Foxy today, and you'll get blank stares. Before we continue, which of these songs takes you right back to 1978? Did you wear out your vinyl copy of any of these hits? Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Number 5, Still the Same by Bob Seger. Still the Same hit the Hot 100 in May of 1978 and stayed there for 18 weeks, peaking at number 4. Bob Seger had been grinding for a decade before breaking through with Night Moves in 1976. Still the Same was the lead single from the Stranger in Town album, his 1978 follow-up to Night Move. It helped drive Stranger in Town to a then high number 4 on the Billboard 206 times platinum certification.
I began to find myself searching.
People have asked me for years who it's about. Seger wrote in his greatest hits liner note, "It's an amalgamation of characters I met when I first went to Hollywood. All type A personalities, overachieving, driven. With a career spanning 6 decades, Seger has sold over 75 million records worldwide. Yet Still the Same gets overshadowed by old-time rock and roll on classic rock radio. This one deserves another spin."
Well, I'd stand outside at closing time.
Number 4, Surrender by Cheap Trick. The opening riff announced that Cheap Trick meant business. Surrender came from their 1978 album Heaven Tonight and became one of the year's most memorable rock songs. The song's hook was its genius. Teenagers discovering their parents weren't as square as they thought. The line about mom and dad rolling on the couch listening to Kiss records struck a nerve with every kid who suspected their parents had secret lives. Cheap Trick had been building momentum since their 1977 debut. The band would explode the following year with their legendary live album recorded at Budokan. But Surrender was the warning shot, proving American rock could compete with the British invasion of punk and new wave. Rick Nielsen's guitar work and Robin Zander's vocals created something timeless. This song deserves to be remembered. Number 3, Because the Night by Patti Smith Group. Before Easter, Patti Smith was a poet with a cult following. After Easter, she had a genuine hit single. Because the Night climbed to number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100, giving Smith her only major pop chart success. But the backstory makes it even better. Bruce Springsteen wrote the track, but couldn't finish the lyrics to his satisfaction. Producer Jimmy Iovine, who was working with both artists at the time, passed the unfinished demo to Smith. and she transformed it into something powerful.
Some rude touch, something shot me away.
Smith completed what Springsteen started, adding her own perspective on passion and desperate longing. The collaboration worked because both artists understood raw emotion. Springsteen kept the song in his own setlist for decades. Smith built her entire commercial breakthrough around it. Two artists connected by New Jersey, one perfect song, a moment when underground credibility met mainstream success without either artist compromising. Number 2, Deacon Blues by Steely Dan.
This is for me, the essence of true romance.
The album Aya won the Grammy for Best Engineered Recording at the 1978 ceremony. Steely Dan's perfectionism had reached its peak. Deacon Blues climbed to number 19 on the Hot 100, a modest chart position for a song now considered one of the greatest of the decade.
Well, I did not think that girl would be so cruel.
Walter Becker and Donald Fagen spent months crafting every note. Their relentless pursuit of perfection was legendary. For the guitar solo on the album's title track, they auditioned multiple session players before finding what they wanted.
You know she's no high climber, then you find your lonely friend.
Pete Chrisley nailed the saxophone solo on Deacon Blues in just a couple of takes after coming straight from a Tonight Show taping. The song celebrates the beautiful loser, the person who dreams of being cool without ever quite getting there. Fagen's lyrics about wanting to die behind the wheel of the finest automobile captured something universal about American longing. Jazz rock wasn't supposed to produce hits this emotional. Steely Dan proved otherwise. The song influenced everyone from Michael McDonald to Toto. It rarely gets radio play today, but it should.
After all the things we done and seen, you find another man. The things you think are useless, I can't understand.
Number 1, Just What I Needed by The Cars.
I guess you're just what I needed. I needed someone to be.
At 34 years old, Rick Ocasek was older than most new wave frontmen when The Cars released their debut single. Just What I Needed reached number 27 on the Billboard Hot 100, a modest peak for a song that would prove far more influential than its chart position suggested.
Who's gonna hold you down?
In 2021, Rolling Stone recognized its importance by adding it to their list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. The song announced that rock was evolving, that synthesizers and guitars could coexist, that hooks mattered more than attitude. The Cars' self-titled debut album became one of the best-selling records of 1978. Producer Roy Thomas Baker, fresh from working with Queen, gave the band that crisp, spacious sound that defined new wave. Ocasek's detached vocals, Elliot Easton's precise guitar work, Benjamin Orr's bass, and the keyboards of Greg Hawkes created a template that countless bands would follow. The song still sounds modern. It was simply ahead of its time in 1978, and that's exactly what made it just what we needed.
It's all